Yes.
Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat.
It's steel.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Keep it real.
Keeping it real.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Steven and this is Steel Keeping It Real. So you know what today is.
Now, Dad Rock.
That's right, it is Dad Rock Wednesday. And on this day, I like to feature adult contemporary or adult alternative or just those songs that should have made either one of those charts back in the day but didn't. Now, this particular song actually comes off a suggestion from Gooey Bow Nana. I don't know where that name came up from. Maybe you'll explain it in your comments. But they suggested that I try to play either The Strokes, Hard to Explain, or Space Age Love Song by a Flock of Seagulls. Now, I tried to do The Strokes, and it got blocked to me.
Oh, poor baby.
But I tried to do Flock of Seagulls. Their original video got blocked to me, but somebody had remastered a performance on American Bandstand, and so that is the one that I'm going to show. Now, I have no problem in doing a Flock of Seagulls. Number one, if you know me, you know. And so this particular song goes all the way back to 1982, where I was living in the UK. Now, I don't know if I initially heard of a Flock of Seagulls when they first came out. Of course, you hear I Run So Far Away. But I do know both of that one as well as this song. It just has that sound of the early 80s. The early 80s definitely had some early 80s songs definitely had a sound to where you're like, oh yeah, that's 80s. That's definitely 80s. And this happens to be one. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. When you're in the moment, you don't realize that, there's a whole bunch of this is going to, be a thing in later decades that it sounds like this, because this particular song, being an 80s song, sounds nothing in the genre of Michael Jackson and how his songs sounded, or Madonna and how her songs sounded, but they all have that early 80s sound. Phil Collins too. They're just all so different, and that way when you hear the songs, you're like, yeah, that's the 80s. Let's take a look at what this song actually did on the charts. And Balamo. It went to number 68 in Australia, number 31 in New Zealand, number 34 in the UK, number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 59 on the Billboard Top Tracks, and number 35 on US Cashbox. Now, that's not such a bad, going out, considering that, they might be considered one-hit wonders in the United States because they had I Run, So Big. That was just a huge song. And so, but, people elsewhere would say, like, no, they weren't one-hit wonders. They had this song. They had another song, which I think is called Wishing. If I Had a Photograph of You, which if I look at that particular song, that one actually, that one did a lot better than this one. That song went to number 1 in France. And number 10 on the UK. So we can't say that they were one-hit wonders because there's that other song as well.
Yeah.
So, if you like videos like this and others on the channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, because I'm trying to do at least 10 videos each and every week. And as you see, I do look at your comments and I do take suggestions from you. So keep them coming and leave a comment down below if there's a particular song that you would like for me to do. So, without any further ado, here are a Flock of Seagulls and Space Age Love Song.
I must go.
Take me with you. I cannot.
Please.
You will die there.
I don't think I care.
I care.
So that was Space Age Love Song by A Flock of Seagulls. And again, it definitely has that 80s sound. And I would say maybe not, it is an 80s sound, but maybe more British 80s because it has that feel for me that takes me right back there. And I'm sure maybe for some other, it would remind you of maybe other 80s British songs around the time, like maybe even some Human League or not necessarily Depeche Mode, even though there's a lot of synthesizers in there, but maybe some of the other ones that are in there. I don't understand some of the words that are in there because there's so much going on, or there's the synthesizer seems like it's simple, but there's several different synthesizers going on in this song. I would say at least 2 or 3. And then you have that great guitar riff that kind of makes this song, this and the the drums actually, musical, because he's like, and it goes on. The lyrics are so maybe overdubbed or sustained or whatever, or overproduced, that it's hard to understand exactly what the words are. And I don't ever think I ever knew what the words were before. But when it comes to like I run so far, those lyrics, but I don't necessarily know these. I'll probably look them up. Also, when you have a hairdo like that, how do you go on from that? Because I didn't know much of A Flock of Seagulls after this particular song, and I wonder. I'm almost positive that guy has to be bald now, and but how do you go on when you have such an iconic hairstyle like that? Like when you see these new progressive commercials where it shows Kid and Play, yet Kid is bald now, but you see the sculpture outside has this high top fade on it, and it's just like how do you go on after that? And you just kind of do. But if you stay in the public vision, then they can adapt with like, like Steve Harvey used to have hair and now he doesn't. That kind of situation. So it is what it is. But it's still a good song. It's still a good song, especially for that time frame. It especially fits. And
that's all I have to say about that.
So, if you are still here, I thank you very much for staying tuned. I really do appreciate it. First and foremost, I want you guys to like the videos as much as I like making them for you. After that, all you need to do to help me out with the channel is to like, subscribe, share, and comment.